Good morning. So it's the 28th of July, just 9 o'clock, and I am looking at NQ on the 1 hourly chart. What I have marked up here, I've cleaned my chart up and I have left on just a couple of key things that I want to focus on this morning. Morning being the beginning of the week. We can see we have this new week opening gap from here to the close, and I'm just going to mark that off there. And as you can see, we are consequent encroachment is here. I've made a note also of this high, and as you can see, price has run up overnight into London session, and we've dropped down towards consequent encroachment, but we haven't reached it as yet. Yeah, so now if I drop into the 5-minute, because we've just turned 9 o'clock, I will explain for you what these other lines I have on my chart. So I've marked out my macro, which is 9:45 to 9:15. That's my focus. I've also marked up this one here because I'll explain later, but essentially I believe price takes the high and low of this. Don't ask me why, but I've just noticed it. So as you can see, I was looking for price to reach 23,300 or thereabouts, close that new week opening gap, and then revert upwards. As you can see, we've had a strong drop lower. As I say, not quite reached consequent encroachment. This could be our smart money reversal already. If we SMR, as you can see, we've got a series of imbalances. Let's have a look if I can mark those up. Well, that was the low. And then we've got these series of 5-minute imbalances. We've got a high. We've broken that high with a BISI here. So is it going to give us support here and then continue up higher? Let's wait and see. But essentially that's what I am looking at right now. In Zeus's last video that we had, this is in the mentorship, so if you're not in the mentorship, I'm not sure if I should probably say what he said, but there can be occasions when, you should try and wait until your macro window. This is a rejection. As you can see, we've got a BISI here, or a SIBI here, and we've rejected it. We've rejected the 400 price level, and we are heading down. I actually think it's probably worth you could take the sell down to 300, because I believe in my mind that's where it's going to go. Let me just drop down to the 1-minute as well. So here we have it. As I said, this was this BISI here, and I suggested that we drop down to, I'm anticipating price to get down to here, this level. I'm actually going to take off, should I do it? And then you've done the sell side, do the curve. Oops. So I took the low. I took the sell just here. As you can see, it was a little bit delayed because I had some internet issues. But essentially, I am going for the left side of the curve. My take profit is at 23,000, sorry, at that level. I may look, obviously we've got consequent encroachment of that, or should I say 50% equilibrium of that price range is just here. So we'll see where we're at come 9:30, but we've just taken these two relatively equal lows, which is what I was anticipating initially, and we'll see how we get on further. Let's just have a quick look at what ES is doing. To ES on the 1 minute. ES is there. And as we can see, let's have a look. If I go to the 5 minute, and here on the 5 minute, let's see on what S&T is looking like. On the 5 minute chart, you can see we had S&T here. Let's just mark these up. That low to there. At the minute, we've got equal lows. Now we're back in line. Yeah. So that was the S&T there to there. Cycle S&T. Alright. Outside of that, we're in line. We closed from previous week's high, previous day high is there for this one. And we're continuing. Everything is doing what I'm expecting it to do at the minute. I'm hoping it will do. Expecting it, hoping it, I don't know. I'm still living in hope land at the minute because I haven't quite perfected this. You notice that we have this imbalance here, just around the 300 level. So that's why I was targeting down there, but it feels a little bit far. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when we reach this high, because this high could be where we get the rejection. Let's take that off. Let's go back down to the 1 minute. And we're just waiting for the 9:30 open. Now, I don't really like going in before 9:30 purely because it can sometimes go a bit crazy. Like you go up and you go down. I don't know if today's going to be one of those days. It could be that this was accumulation. This is the manipulation. So we'll see. But let me just leave that here. Keep quiet for a little while. We've got 15, how long? We've got 15, 10, 20 minutes until 9:30. You see, now I've just dropped down into the 15 to the 15 second, and as you can see, we had a low, high, we've broken that. This could be an SMR at on the 15-second time frame, right at a key level at 1350, to ride it back up to this here, original consolidation, sell side, buy side. That could be a thing too. Let me just do this. I don't necessarily like doing this. But this is where if we punch through that high with the busy, that might confirm the idea to me. But either way, I'm not changing anything right now. So it is what it is. Yeah. So if we get a busy through here, retrace and back up there. It really depends on what macro you're trading, because look, that would have been the 8:45 to 9:15 macro finishing right there. SMR and retrace. Yeah, it could be. That could be it. But as I say, that's not what I'm trading today. I can see that that might happen right now. That's not a strong push through there, so I'm not too concerned at this minute. Let me go back to the 1 minute and just let the things do what they've got to do. So here we go. So we do have a small busy there, and we've got a high in this series. So I'm anticipating we're now going to make our lower low. This here I'm thinking is our breaker. It could be. So price started to retrace. As you can see, I have my break there, and that's where I hit my stop loss. So I was at break even, and then looked at that. You can see price totally returned to the 930 open, as you can see with that candle. But then we saw this back and forth between, and we're just outside our macro window, and this is what I mean. 9:30 comes along. This is why I don't like to trade before 9:30, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But as you can see, that was where I had anticipated it was going to return to that open, to that price level at 9:30, and maybe that's where I should have looked to jump in. I'm not sure, and actually I do. So I get my sell in there, and I'm looking for it to go down to that 23,000 level or 300 level. I can't remember what it was. And price started going down that direction, and I'm thinking, great, we are moving forward. That was the idea. And then I start to see how price is finding support at that breaker, because it is a breaker at the end of the day. And we're just approaching the 9:45 macro, and it's not moving very clean. As you can see, we go straight back up. I obviously hit my stop loss, and I'm seeing that there's an opportunity to go up higher. So again, I'm jumping back in. I'm like, so there's a lot of back and forth. I didn't really know where this macro was going, to be honest with you. And at that point, I probably should have just stopped, and preserved my mental equity, but I didn't. I kind of just kept going. I put in another, obviously I have the trade on. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen. I think we're going higher. I've got my stop loss on. I'm looking at the bigger picture, and I'm expecting price to return to the 230 high. That's what at the very minimum, I'm hoping or expecting, or that's my trade idea as a whole. But I'm seeing all of these wicks. You notice those wicks that are there? We're in that CB area, and as I say, this is the bigger picture, but prices moving upwards. So I'm like, okay, we're not doing too badly for the time being. And I'm actually preferring this 5-minute chart now, to be honest. But we're approaching the end of the, midway between that macro. I've seen another red candle and I'm like, what's going on? And this is the thing when you're trading, it's part of it's like you've got to stick to your trade idea, but as you've got to have proper analysis, but then you also have to be flexible when you're reading the tape. So I am hoping that we get to find support here and we continue up higher. So yeah, so as I say, it was kind of back and forth through that macro for me. And I probably shouldn't have traded because I didn't know where there wasn't a clear indication for me. It's the thing, I'm getting better at this. I see the things, I'm marking up the right things, but sometimes I'm not reading everything correctly, but that's okay. As you can see now, price does drop and hit my breaker. I think ultimately I do end up getting stopped out of this particular trade, and that's all part and parcel of it. I wasn't able to continue recording the entire session, but essentially, price reached all of the points that I'd marked up, which I'm pleased to see, even though I may well have been reading them slightly incorrectly. But the lesson of today was, if price is messy and you don't have a clear indication, just simply don't trade. Like, it really is as simple as that. Just don't do it. So thank you ever so much for watching. Do like, subscribe, give me a comment, let me know what your thoughts are, how you're getting on in your journey. Thanks for watching.